Hello everybody, my name is PythonGB and welcome back to another episode of my Minecraft Let's Play. We are on the 74th episode and I have been a busy bee since the last episode. Do you guys want to know what I've been busy with? I'm sure you do. Let's just have a bit of a look around, shall we? As you can see, we are very near Villager Island, but yeah, this is a thing I've been doing since the last episode. I've basically cleared out quite a lot of land in the way that I've mowed out the grass and I put down a bunch of torches because this entire area is going to be an eventual expansion of Villager Island. So we're going to have all kinds of other buildings going on, guys. So if I just show you sort of the boundaries I've got going on here. So if I just walk along here, as you can see, we've got the boundaries here. And it wraps back around pretty much to that cobblestone pole over there. And what we're going to be doing in here is building a whole bunch of cool things. But in today's episode, we are going to be making two builds. We are going to be, first of all, making a 16-color wool farm, which, of course, is just going to very basically be a very large building with 16 pens full of, you know, different colored sheep. And the best thing is, if I just go into my ender chest, as you can see, we have a whole bunch of dyes. So we can actually go and dye some of the sheep and, you know, make little visual representations on, I don't know, hardened clay or wool to sort of signify what's in each of the little pens, which I think is going to be pretty cool. And then at the same time, I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but whatever the case, we are missing one dye. We have the brown dye missing, which of course is cocoa beans. Now, the weird thing is, I seem to remember finding a jungle biome quite a heck of a long time ago, but I don't believe I brought any cocoa beans back, which was a bit of a derp move from me. And the worst thing is, that jungle is like thousands of blocks away. I don't know, man. We could always get lucky and find brown sheep naturally, because that is a thing that can happen. And in terms of getting brown clay, I can get that from a mesa. And then obviously the wool, if we find a brown sort of sheep, then we'll just shear it and then all should be good. We might be able to get away with not using any brown dye at all. That's what I'm hoping anyway. That's what I'm really hoping. But anyway, the second build we're going to do today is a Tool Morgue, because it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I now have a few tools which need to go in there. We've got the original Silky monster, and there's a couple of other things which have sort of outlasted their welcome, or things that take too much to repair. I really don't want to do the level 33 repairs, because that's just it's a lot of levels, and for me it's a bit of a pain to get. So I really don't want to be spending 33 levels just to replenish a tool when I could be using that to, I don't know, for example, you know, enchant two other tools, because, you know, with level 33 you can enchant two more things at level 30 standard, which is awesome. So without further ado, we will be getting on with the wool farm. First of all, it's not going to be anything fancy. Like I said, it's just going to be a building. We can go ahead, shear the sheep, and breed them if we want to. But, yeah, we just need to find ourselves a suitable space. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place down the foundations for you guys, and I'll bring you guys back once we've done that. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Has Python turned into some sort of madman? You would be very much correct in thinking that, good sir. You'll be very much correct in thinking that indeed. No, you wouldn't. Basically, what I've done here is I've marked out where all of the pens are going to go. Now, what I'm going to need is I'm actually going to need a bunch of gravel. If I'm going to go with a gravel andesite and cobblestone pathway, just like the ones we normally go for on Kingdom Craft with the Mountain Kingdom, because in my opinion, that kind of pathway design looks really freaking cool. But before we do that, I want to show you guys the kind of design we're going to be going for the center of these things, the separators, if you will. So if we just grab our ender chest out really quick and let's just plop that down, we have ourselves some glowstone. I have grass blocks, dark oak leaves, and glowstone. Now, here's the plan. What we're going to do is we are going to do a little bit of this. We're going to put the grass blocks underneath here. Now, because the dark oak leaves are opaque, I don't believe the grass blocks are going to turn back into dirt. At least that's what I am hoping will happen. So if we do this and then put that there, what that should hopefully do is it should hopefully act as an infinite sort of grass source. So in case all of the grass gets eaten in there, then it will just spread from elsewhere. So, you know, it's a pretty cool thing to do. And we're going to do it for every single one of these little separators right here. We're going to go ahead and put grass blocks in the center. We're going to do this and then a bit of glowstone. And not only that, but we are also providing a nice amount of light for the build, which is very cool indeed. So let's just go ahead and continue placing these things in, and hopefully what should happen is we'll notice that the grass under here should stay as grass. So yeah, I'll get on with it and I'll be back with you guys momentarily. Looking a bit better now, isn't it? Yeah, it's looking cool. We've got ourselves a nice little pathway going on here. And as I said, we're going to use gravel, cobblestone, and andesite because those three look very, very cool indeed together, I feel. The only other thing I think might have worked was solid stone, you know, just normal stone. But whatever the case, we do have all of the 16 pens all sort of laid out. All we need to do is separate them. And I imagine what I'm going to do is I'm going to put carpets on top of the fences. So, of course, the guys can't get out. But then, of course, I can get in from anywhere that I want. Now, the only thing is, my original design idea was to have the rooms 3 block tall, but by doing that, I won't be able to enter by going over the fence, because, of course, if you jump onto the carpet and then on top of the fence, you're technically 1.5 blocks above the floor, and your character is 2 blocks tall, so the room would need to be at least 3.5 blocks tall, so we're going to have to make a bit of a design sort of amendment, but whatever the case, I think this thing is looking really, really cool at the moment. I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing it finished, and then of course we will be getting on with the Tool Morgue. But yeah, for now, let's just carry on with this. I'm going to put in the separators, and I'll bring you guys back with a bit more progress very shortly. Looks like a mishmash of blooming wool everywhere, doesn't it? But it is all in place. All of the separators are now in place with the relevant bits of carpet above the relevant bits of fence. So we've also got fence gates here just so we can get the sheep in and out when it comes to bringing them all in here. Now the good news is, on my travels, I found a heck of a lot of sheep. Way over in that direction, I'd say about 200 blocks. There is a ridiculous amount of sheep, and I reckon I might be able to get them all into these pens by the end of the episode if I stay focused, of course. Then yeah, I don't see why we should be able to do it. But what we're going to do now is we're actually going to come up with some sort of wall design on camera here, my friends. We're going to try and come up with something right here, because it's not very often I do building on camera, because most of the time I sort of rage build is kind of weird, but it's also kind of annoying. But you know what? I think it's about time we tried something out. So let's go ahead and try and figure out some sort of design. I don't like that a great deal. What about this? That's interesting. What if I put a fence there? I want to make sure it looks good from the outside as well. Yeah, that's looking good, actually. Hello! Okay, you're dead. Now, obviously, we need to make the walls 3 blocks tall, so we do need to consider that, of course. So, maybe I could put another thing there. Maybe I can invert that, actually. Should we try and invert that? So do that there, do that there. That's not bad. I just had an idea, actually. If only you could have vertical slabs, that'd be great, wouldn't it? That really would be great. So, because then I could put it there, and then everything would look cool. The only way that could possibly work is if I were to bring out the buildings like 1 block further out all sides. So if I did something along the lines of that, and if we just go back inside and have a look, see, look, the wall looks pretty nice now, doesn't it? It really does. It does the job nicely. This fence obviously isn't necessary, but I mean, just look at it. It looks really good, doesn't it? But it's just this. This could be a bit of a pain unless I try to sort of adapt it somehow. Adaptions. Adaptions is what we need. Okay, that looks okay. What if we grab the glowstone out really quick, and if we put a bit of glowstone in the wall, do you know what? That actually works, doesn't it? That actually works. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I guess the only way of finding out if I'm really, really happy with it is to try and replicate it on sort of multiple areas to see if we can sort of get this thing going. So if we just grab the stairs out once again, let's put away the bow. We don't really need it at this point in time. So let's go ahead and put a glowstone bit there. We're going to do this. We're going to do this, this, and of course this. All right, and then of course we're going to need some dark oak. So let's just roll up here really quick. Boom, there we go. That doesn't need to be there, nor does that. So we need to put the put these here again. Boom, boom, boom. It really doesn't look that bad, does it? What if I wrap this round? Maybe is that going to work? Nah, that doesn't work too well, does it? That really doesn't work. I don't like that. What if I do this? Sort of invert it, maybe? I don't know. The thing is, this place looks kind of bulky, doesn't it? What if I don't know. Sort of bring in a little bit of shape, perhaps? I don't know. Do you know what, guys? I'm going to continue trying to come up with some sort of wall design off camera. And once I find something I really like and I've replicated it across the board, I will, of course, bring you guys back. And then I guess it'll be time to start on the roof, right? So, yeah, back in a moment, friends. Here we go, my friends. The walls in their entirety have now been put up and they are completed. Now, from the outside, as you can see, we have ourselves some leaf blocks as well as glowstone and some stairs. Now, I did this just in an attempt to sort of buff out the building a little bit and obviously, you know, make this sort of back wall sort of look natural, I guess. But if we go on the inside, as you can see, we have ourselves like a little pattern for each of these little lights. So as you can see, again, visible leaf blocks, and we've got the glowstone here, and I decided to put in some stairs in the sides as well. And you know what? I am a big fan of this, ladies and gentlemen. I really am. I spent a long time trying to come up with a good wall design, and it just so happens that I feel like this one works pretty damn well, because obviously we have the leaves in here, so I thought, you know, we could have leaves on the outside as well, just to sort of match it all up. But now we have the big daddy. We have the mammoth task of trying to put in a roof. Oh man, this is gonna be a gargantuan task. It really is. I've already been recording for 70 minutes at this point, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do, my friends. There's a lot of stuff to do, but do you know what? I think it's going to be very much worth it once it's all finished. And one thing I will say is my underground tree farm has actually been getting quite a lot of use out of me today, which is pretty damn cool. So I'm very glad I made that thing. Obviously, the underground tree farm I finished on episode 50, and well, for the most part, I haven't really been using it because I haven't really needed too much wood. But as you can see, lots and lots of wood being used here. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to come up with a design with a roof, and I'll bring you guys back hopefully once I have some sort of concept in mind, and then we can get on with it. Alright guys, I thought I'd bring you back in here just so we could do the question of the video. And for today, ladies and gentlemen, that comes from a user by the name of InfernoFX. And his question is actually a question that I think I've answered before, but I have a more updated answer for. But the question is, if you could do a collaboration with any other YouTuber you haven't already done one with, who would it be? Now, I think my previous answer to that was actually Etho, but I have actually done a collaboration with him since we did the InfinitrI bow PvP game. If you guys want to go ahead and check that out, you can of course do so. There'll be a link in the description if you really want to go ahead and see it. But yeah, there was all kinds of people. There was a Zumbovoy, there was Etho, there was False Symmetry, there was a bunch of other Hermits, and it was a lot of fun. It was actually surprisingly fun. I wouldn't lie, I'm not that big of a fan of PvP, but when there's PvP with other people and you're all on like a call and you're having fun, then do you know what? I think it's worth it. I think it's very much worth it. But my sort of more updated answer to that question would now be BOO, because BOO is my main inspiration when it comes to coming up with ideas for builds on Minecraft. So I'm always keeping up to date with his building with BOO series, and it would be really awesome to get to know him in person. It really would, because he seems like a really chill guy. He seems like a really genuine guy, and he seems like the kind of guy who I would want to hang around with, I guess. I don't know, as a fellow builder of Minecraft. But yeah, things are looking pretty good around here. We only have a small section left. I'm kind of annoyed that we didn't have enough, because it means we have to go all the way back down just to grab some damn cobblestone. But yeah, the roof is pretty much done. The interior is done. So I believe the last thing left to do would be to grab as many sheep as we possibly could get. And then, of course, we can work on the Tool Morgue. But before we do that, I'll give my question of the video to you guys. Where do you get your build inspiration from in Minecraft, or who do you watch who inspires you to build things in Minecraft, you know, that kind of thing? You know, leave your responses in the comments area below. And of course, if you have any question of the video suggestions, then again, by all means, leave them in the comments area below, and you will of course have a chance of yours being used and your name shouted out. It will be awesome. But yeah, let me just go ahead, finish up this roof. I'm going to go ahead and grab a bunch of sheep. We're going to try and get them inside of each of the pens. And yeah, hopefully I'll meet you guys back once we have all the sheep in the pens. Alrighty guys, all of the sheep are now in, and without further ado, I've only got a few more things to dye. We've got these guys right here to be cactus green, we've got the lime green dye, and we have the magenta dye. Now, this one over here, unfortunately, we did not manage to find any brown sheep at all, which is really a bit of a pain, because it really would have been nice, because then we wouldn't have to go back to the jungle and such. Oh man, I'm gonna have to try and find a jungle at some point. Alright, I mean, well, if we manage to find a jungle, then we can bring some cocoa beans back, and then of course we can make ourselves a cocoa bean farm out of that. But in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, this sheep farm is pretty much done. I'm really happy with it. Let's just have a look at the exterior really quick, including the roof and everything. Yeah, that's looking really nice, isn't it? It looks pretty cool. The reason why these little sort of dark oak pillars aren't a block taller is because the light level on the top of that block is light level 8. Now, if it was light level 7 or below, I believe hostile mobs will be able to spawn on it. Now, obviously, I have a slabbed roof, so nobody will be able to spawn up there anyway. But, yeah, we've had to keep this sort of shortened, I guess, the pillars, because I really don't want to put torches on top of it, because I think that'll ruin the look of it. So I don't know, I think everything's still looking good here. I think we're good to go. We've got all the colours apart from brown, and yeah, fully functioning sheep farm. Got ourselves a whole bunch of wool. It's gonna be awesome, my friends. So the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to make ourselves a tool morgue. It's gonna be a much simpler build. I imagine it's just gonna be some sort of like a housey type thing, just with a bunch of like walls with item frames and such on it. So what I'm gonna do is, once again, I'm gonna come up with the foundations, and I'll be back with you guys once we're ready to get this thing built. Alrighty guys, I am back. The Tool Morgue sort of foundations and indeed the walls have now been constructed, and what we're doing now is we are just going to go ahead and make the roof real quick. We should be able to do this on camera because it's going to be a very basic, simple roof. It's going to be very simple indeed, so let's just go ahead and get this thing rolling, and if the stairs could go the right way, that'd be fantastic. There we go, boom, 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 and a boom, and let's go around this side, do the same. There we go. You will of course see the design in just a little while once I get down. Okay, and let's just put the old slabs in. There we go. This should do the job very, very nicely indeed. Okay, and then obviously on the inside, we could go ahead and see if there's anything we need to do there as well. And that should pretty much wrap that little build up there. Wow. Look at that. That doesn't look too bad, does it? I know I've used birch in this build, but in this resource pack, which by the way is the Minecraft HD resource pack, it's a 64 times resource pack, the link of which of course is in the description, but with this resource pack, dark oak logs and birch actually looks really, really well together. I'm actually kind of surprised. Wow, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy with that. We're gonna go ahead and do the old ceiling on the inside, like so. Alright, all good. And then in terms of the final bit of glowstone we have, we're going to go ahead and put it just above where the door is going to go. So let's just put it right there. And of course, let's get ourselves a wee little door. We'll just use a regular door for now. I don't see a reason why we shouldn't. And boom, there we go. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to get some item frames. Now the lucky thing is I found a bunch of cows along the way. So, you know, we're pretty good in terms of that. And not only that, but we have a bunch of leather back in the cow farm on the actual island itself. So that's very cool indeed. So let's just go inside here and let's start placing down some of these little things. Oh my god, it's gonna be amazing. There we go, so that's already 12 down. I mean, look at all this. We've got so much space for all the tools that are going in the morgue. And here we go, guys. The first thing that we ran completely out of was the original Silky monster. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the little Silky monster name comes up as well, doesn't it? Ooh, that's kind of awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have two other tools to say rest in peace to. We have the original Silky shovel. This will cost 33 levels to replenish, but I don't really, like I said before, I don't really want to spend 33 levels on replenishing these things. I'd rather use the 33 levels to get two new tools. So, yeah. So we've got the Silky shovel and the workhorse pickaxe. We're going to put them both in the morgue and say a very heartfelt rest in peace, because you guys, you served your lives and you did a very good job in getting me far in terms of this world. So I want to thank you for being by my side, and you will be forever immortalized right here. It'll be amazing. Wow. Alright, guys. I think on that note, though, it is time to end the episode. It's been a very, very building, jam-packed, full episode, hasn't it, today? Oh, man. I mean, just to think that none of this was here before we started today's episode, I'm really, really happy with the progress we made. Hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. Be sure to leave a like rating if you did enjoy it. I'd very much appreciate it. And, of course, you guys can subscribe if you want to know in the future videos. Oh, I can't even English today. What's going on with me? Mind you, that's not too different than normal, is it? But anyways, guys, I want to thank you for watching. I appreciate your continued support very much so. And I will see you guys in the next episode.